What's up, guys? My name is Sebastian Stratman. I hope you guys are having a great day and will continue having one. Today I am going to be pretty much talking about what the difficulties of making a car that was never really designed for the track and what kind of issues I'm running into making this a track car that can do at least a minimum of 3 laps at a time before needing to cool down and all that good stuff. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there is always rocks and little twigs hitting the back of the car because of how sticky the tires are and how wide they are, and there's no mud guard to really fit it, so I get rocks and things just throwing at my paint, which isn't my favorite thing on the planet, but it's nice to have super wide tires. But if you guys do decide to run wide tires, just be aware that's a thing. They will throw rocks at you. Here we are, a nice parking lot for me. There's people, but that's okay. All right, this is my 2019 Infiniti Q60. If you've seen my videos before, you can skip a lot of this, but going over my basic modifications for specifically track use, not any cosmetics or anything, is going to be my 4-pot Z1 big brake kit. That helps a lot. You really don't need a 6-piston brake kit. I actually find a lot of brake power in this with a good pad and a good rotor. Besides that, I have the 20 by 10.5 plus 25 FERRADA FR2s wrapped in Goodyear F1 SUPERCAR C3s. Behind it is the Z1 drilled and slotted rotors with Hawk 5.0 pads as well. In the front as well, we have the SPC front upper control arms. Those are all adjustable, as well as in the rear I have rear adjustable camber arms, traction arms, as well as tow arms. That is also all SPC. Front and rear we also have coilovers, BC Racing. That's what gets the car quite a bit lower and safely lower without cutting springs or anything like that. My buddy that runs RSR Downs, he is significantly, I guess, taller than I am. We parked right next to each other and you could see mine was quite a bit lower. So if you like the low look and you like the performance style, especially with track, I highly recommend coilovers over springs. Besides that, as you probably could see, because I've stayed on this side this whole time, I am tuned via ECUTEK by SONICTUNED. The tuner's name is Mark. He's a one-man show. He is pretty awesome. He does make reliable tunes. That is what he is known for. I don't think he's ever had one blow up on him, which is awesome. So props to him. My car's running great. I love it every day, and I can't wait to build it even further. So that's just suspension. As for engine, you're going to want to do all the basics. So that's going to be like your heat exchanger. In my case, I went with MISHIMOTO, Z1 oil catch can, AMS alpha 2.5-inch intake. And where it gets a little bit more fun is when I added in the Red Sport oil cooler, because this is not a Red Sport, this is a 2019 Lux. So this doesn't come with all the normal bells and whistles. This did not come with the brake kit. This was added on after. That is not supposed to really be able to be done on this car. It's a lot of work and it's a lot of parts and it's pretty damn expensive. They make aftermarket oil coolers for rear-wheel drive Q60s, but not for all-wheel drive. So if you are considering a track build, I really don't think you get all of what you can get out of a Q60 without using the all-wheel drive, but you could buy a rear-wheel drive in order to save quite a bit of money on the oil cooler. Plus there is a much more wide variety of parts available for a rear-wheel drive Q60 or Q50. As for the rest, I just have AMS downpipes as well as the 3-inch MBRP exhaust. Besides that, that would relate to the track would be the paddle shifters. Those make a night and day difference. It's a lot easier to shift when you can have both your hands on the steering wheel, especially when you're white knuckling. So that's another thing that don't come in any Q60s is column mounted paddle shifters, and I added those as well. But anyway, the biggest thing that I wanted to say about having a Q60 as a track car, and I'm not talking about a straight line car, I'm talking about a oval track or a rally track type of build. this car suffers from oil temperature like a motherfucker. You could probably get 2 laps in, even with an oil cooler, or even having the Red Sport oil cooler. You're 2 laps in and you already need to pull over because your engine temperature is like 240. You can push it past that. I think you could probably fit in a 3rd lap, but at that point you're pushing it, and do you really want to push it? So aftermarket availability on oil cooling is going to be huge for this car if anybody does turn it into a track car, like with a lot of the G37s, 350 and 370Zs. I do think as soon as that does happen, or as soon as someone does develop a product, this could be a no-brainer. But I am going to work on a few things to help oil cooling. One thing I might do is also relocate the oil cooler, because it is kind of behind this board. So if I relocate that in front of the grill, or at least on the lower grill, that might give me more air, as well as getting the drop bear, I believe it's an aluminum oil pan. But there's a lot more things that need to be done. But really, honestly, to have this as a weekend racer, nothing else. You want 400 to 450 wheel horsepower and a little track car that you don't see very often. As a weekend racer, I think this would be perfect as is, but I want to go a lot harder. I want to surprise a lot of people with this car and this car's potential, and I want to finish my build. So I got a lot more going from here. But if you were just doing a weekend racing build, just those modifications alone will probably get you pretty solid. I would recommend the oil pan. I would recommend also looking into just more cooling options, or getting a rear-wheel drive version. I know my total is about 16, but I think those modifications alone, you're probably 10, 12. So 10, 12,000, and you have a pretty quick track car that you don't ever see. This is a pretty rare car, especially here in Utah. At least that's where I am. I know in other states it may be more, but in Utah I never see these cars. They're nowhere. I think I know 2 people with Q60. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video and enjoy the content. If you guys want more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. Anyway, peace.